What's up, Otaku fam? We are the Otaku Couple back with reactions here for the channel with more Sam Onella Academy Mass Hysteria Throughout History. Seems like a very topical one to do. Another oldie but goodie, you know what I'm saying?
That sounds relatable.
I mean, you see the world. It's a good time, right?
God, he should update it with COVID.
Yeah.
You know?
Thank you guys for the continued support on these videos. I'm glad you guys are liking them. They're slowly getting more and more recognition here on the channel. So I'm glad you guys are enjoying them. So we're going to keep doing them because it's a good time. I like his videos.
Chuckle.
She hasn't really seen a lot of them. So we're going to keep it going. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe. Every little bit helps. And let's hop on in.
Hey kids, if you've ever been Black Friday shopping or visited the Diablo subreddit recently, chances are you've encountered mass hysteria at some point. Mass hysteria is known medically as mass psychogenic illness, or MPI for short. It's basically just when a bunch of people start acting a fool for no discernible reason other than maybe a stressful environment. Being that this sort of thing is naturally very noticeable, there's loads of documented cases found all throughout history. Let's take a look at a few.
Yeah,
this first one is what made me make this video in the first place.
Oh boy.
So one day sometime in the Middle Ages, a group of nuns in a French convent were enjoying a quiet, uneventful day until one of them decided to start meowing. You know, like a cat. You'd think this would last all of 4 seconds before another nun was like, "Excuse me, Sister Gertrude, would you kindly cut the shit?" But instead, another nun joined in, and another, until basically the entire nunnery was exchanging mouths like a group of communist trading card enthusiasts. This was
What? That analogy, though.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, this actually happened.
Okay.
It's wild.
wasn't just a one-time thing either. It basically became integrated into their way of life. It's said that on a given day, they would stand there meowing in each other's faces for hours at a time. Could you imagine being the first outsider to witness this? You might laugh now, but as they say, everybody gangsta till the nuns start meowing.
Everybody gangsta till the nuns start meowing.
They.
By they.
I'd void my bowels and move to Malaysia without even thinking. Miles more terrifying than this pile of garbage. As you can imagine, though, after a while it stopped being scary and just got annoying, leading to the neighbors calling in a band of soldiers to deal with the situation. Hey guys, can we talk to you for a sec about, Yeah, that. All due respect, but we have orders to literally beat the hell out of you with whips till you start acting like people again. Sorry, sir. It's just force of habit. Haha, habit. Seriously though, we would rather go to hell for throttling a gaggle of nuns than put up with another minute of your bullshit, caprese. Our next event took place in the parish of Fatima, Portugal in the year 1917. It all started with 3 shepherd children, ages 10, 9, and 7 respectively. They were like, "Greetings, fellow Portugueseites. We've been seeing visions of the Virgin Mary, and she told us to tell you that some real crazy shit's gonna go down in the sky on October 13th. Now, if 3 random farm children started spouting out prophecies to the public today, you'd say, "Ha, what tomfoolery. Go play in some dirt, you dirty little dirt baby." But keep in mind,
You dirty little dirt baby.
Let's start calling babies that. You dirty little dirt baby.
the past is a different country. And Portugal's a different country. So that's like different countries squared you gotta think about. Plus, this was during World War I, a time where a lot of people were
House exploded. Son died of flu. Fierce persecution over his epic hat. Can't find his jewel.
holding out for a miracle to begin with. So the kid's story was actually picked up and even spread by local newspapers.
Porch of
to
geese
the point where when the day
found. Porch of geese found.
That one.
I love this
That was
dude.
golden.
The people who think they're
More
funny
on page
everywhere vanish
69,
mysteriously.
LOL.
More on page 69, lol.
newspapers, to the point where, when the day finally came, at least 30,000 people gathered in Fatima to witness the alleged miracle. Lo and behold, on that day, the sun began zooming around, careening towards Earth and sending rays of multicolored light cascading across the sky, creating a light show like nobody's ever seen. Keep in mind, this happened in the 20th century, way after the era where belief in divine jiggery and or pokery was considered mandatory, so naturally there were plenty of skeptics and non-believers present, and even they saw it all happen. Or so they thought. How do we know the sun didn't really whiz around haphazardly that day, Well, number 1, use your frickin' brain. And number 2, accounts differed wildly from person to person. While some say the sun zigged hither, others say it zagged thither, and others still said it shined a brilliant yellow and stayed perfectly still. As such, it was eventually concluded that the event was just a combination of MPI and weird eye stuff from too much sun staring. Although I'd like to believe it was real, just that Jesus' illusion skill was way higher than his alteration at the time. Yep, that's it. Sam's going to hell.
Like that's it. He finally crossed the line. He's going to hell. He's like, all right, that's one too many references. I'm done. He's done. He's gonna get him out of there. Put him on the loose.
Said enough.
It's way higher than his alteration at the time.
God,
yep, that's it. Sam's going to hell. Why, for blasphemy? Trust me, that was the least offensive part of that joke. Our next tale took place in 1962 in Tanganyika, which was basically just the beta version of Tanzania. The nation had just declared its independence from Britain the previous year, and with the future so uncertain, tensions were naturally running high around this time. One little girl in a Tanganyikan school ended up handling the stress in a bit of an unusual way. Rather than overeating or staring at her ceiling for hours like a normal person, she just started laughing. And laughing, and laughing. Pretty soon, her classmates at the all-girls school she attended began to join in, to the point where 95 of the 159 students caught the gigglies, which lasted anywhere from a few hours to 16 days straight. Beyond just the
16 days?
Children are already scary. Having a child laugh for 16 days straight.
Listen, I'm sorry, but if I'm just minding my business in town and a group of children are just laughing maniacally, I'm shooting all of them.
Zombies!
The unprovoked cackling. Other odd behavior included aimless running and occasional violence. The problem got
and that's why I'm shooting.
Laughter. Yeah, no.
Especially if I see them, a group of kids laughing and then just doing absurd violence and mass destruction.
And running.
Severe that the school was forced to close down temporarily, leading to the chortlers roaming the streets, spreading the affliction further. Thousands of people from all strata came to be affected, with 13 additional schools being shut down in the progress. Over the course of the hysteria, several other symptoms began to present themselves as well, ranging from obvious ones such as breathing problems, fainting, random screaming, to more anomalous things like rashes. Despite all this, no physical cause could be found, leaving MPI as the only explanation. The epidemic finally died down after between 6 and 18 months of day in, day out laughter, depending on the village. While this whole thing likely sucked for most people involved, it probably could have been worse. A lot of the time when I'm alone, I'll think to myself, man, if I ever go full schizo, I hope I'm one of the laughy ones, not one of the screamy ones. With the story in mind, just maybe, if I put my mind to it and believe hard enough, I can be both. Flashback to the year 1518 to the city of Strasbourg, at the time part of the HRE. A woman named Mrs. Trophy began fervently dancing in the streets for no discernible reason, for hours, then days. All without music, of course. Her only breaks consisted of occasional food intake and passing out from exhaustion when night came. If you saw that today, you'd just be like, ha, drugs. But apparently people found it pretty inspiring, because within a week, 34 others had joined in, and after a month, there were around 400. This wasn't your casual bobbing up and down neither. This shit made Zumba look like Tai Chi. Here's the best modern day simulation I could find. Now imagine that both of those people were the same person and you got the dancing plague. This would take a toll on any healthy person, let alone a medieval city dweller. But despite bleeding feet and aching bones, they just kept going. In fact, they went so hard for so long that a good portion straight up fucking died from cardiac arrest. It got to the point where around 15 dancers were kicking the bucket every day before the city decided they had to do something about it. They managed to rule out any divine or supernatural causes, which was necessary just because, you know, back in medieval times, it was fucking stupid. They eventually surmised that it was a natural disease caused by too much hot blood, as per that whole four humors thing that was popular at the time. As for a cure, their prescription was, get this, more dancing. I can see where they were coming from. It's pretty sound logic. If you got a song stuck in your head, you play it till you're sick of it, same kind of thing. But here's where they goofed. The authorities actually went out of their way to facilitate the dancing, setting up a big stage area and even hiring musicians to keep the afflicted moving. All this achieved was attracting more passerby who were like, man, mass psychogenic illness looks frickin' epic, let's get in on that, causing the contagion to become even more widespread.
Right.
Seeing that their solution backfired, the city then went the other way and completely banned any public dancing. Those who still showed signs of the mania were subsequently carted off to the Shrine of St. Vitus, where an exorcism-like ritual was performed on them. This ended up being highly effective, presumably for no other reason than that the dancers believed it would work, and after nearly 2 months, the plague was quelled. While this whole thing was most likely a case of good old-fashioned MPI, some historians believe it might have been egged on in part by ergotism, a state of psychosis brought on by eating tainted bread, which I talked a little bit about in this video. Ding. And hey, while I'm shilling for my channel, I might as well give a shout out to another as well. Today's video was sponsored by Cheddar, and then...
Okay.
I wonder if we have that now. Like I've thought about like some of the weird, like, I don't know if I've seen it on TikTok or YouTube. It doesn't really matter. But like people glitching out sort of thing, and that's weird too. So it's just like, okay.
That last one was wild.
Yeah.
Like all of it's pretty wild, but that last one was actually like that, and the children one. That's crazy.
Yeah. God,
Sam over here bringing the facts.
That they didn't consider them like witches, and maybe they did, but you know, like the whole dancing with the devil and stuff.
It's a good time.
That
was a good eye roll there, baby. Thank you guys for the continued support. Let us know which salmonella video you want us to react to next down below. We will see you for the next video. Bye.